In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sonships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time the seed of the universe. It's known among ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, and many, many, many other Orisha gods. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it's to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, those children of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the lost 13th tribe, born here in North America, and we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient but yet holy words of peace, in the many different languages of our fathers of Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Babarigani, Alafia, and Ashe. All greetings and salutations of peace. I greet you in peace.
Peace.
Welcome, welcome to the Toma Nation, aka Temple of Mercy Association. We're located at 616 East on 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois. I am Brother Minister Raheem Kasset Aten, founder of this great movement, along with the co-founder, Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and our First Lady, Sister Makita Aisha Aten. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this broadcast. And I want to get right down to it because I only have a few minutes with you live. But if you want to run down here, come on down and get a full hour of this teaching. Today, my subject happens to be about who is God. And because of the English language being so bastardized, it's really hard to get out of what it is I'm going to say by the title, Who is God? But maybe I can read something to you real quick, and then you'll kind of know where I'm going with that. And then I'll say the opening, a little bit of it, so you can see what I mean in a different manner without using any gender. And it will go like this. In the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one that directs the sonships of millions and trillions of years, the one who made time the seed of the universe. And right along with that, I'll read this. Everything at its purest and deepest essence is energy. And whenever you think you're working with an immense amount of this energy in the quick, light, mobile form of thought. See, it's saying now, it's showing you the purest and deepest essence of energy, which is thought, all right? And thought is forever attempting to find a form. It's always looking for an outlet. It's always trying to manifest itself. It is the nature of thought to try and materialize into its physical equivalent. Now, y'all get that? Mind power. So in Toma, we know that this bastardized language does not allow us to see God for who and what it truly is. And so, just like it said here, that the nature of thought is to try and materialize itself into its physical equivalent. Well, most humans are at fault for working hard to believe in something that they don't see by materializing it into something they can see. Y'all ever notice that? Every group got some God that they have to be able to see. Master Farad Muhammad, you have to see him. Who else? Buddha or Krishna. All of them got to have somebody to represent this God that they have to see. But it mentions its purest and deepest essence. In ancient Kemet, the word for God is nature. Nature. And in Toma, we look at God as all energy combined to make up what we call the great mind. The great mind. Mind and thought is almost basically the same. So in a sense, when we're even talking about God in its true essence being all things and no thing at the same exact time, which in the Hebrew Kabbalah is called Ein Sof, all and nothing at the same time. So we got nature and we got in nature, energy, right? In nature, energy. So even energy is showing you that it's a form of who and what God is. So we don't get caught up in trying to create a person to be this God that created everything on the planet and the sun and the moon. But that's okay if it works for you. See, and we know that even in our opening, all of those names for God is not what God is. See, it might be who God is, but only in its essence that God is in all things and in everything at the same time. So yes, the black man is God. The black woman is God. Because in all essence, all blackness is God. The whole essence of black being the dark matter in space itself, being the deepest, darkest depth of the ocean, being your own subconscious mind in your own head is darkness. Did you know that? Right inside of your head is darkness. And you see things moving around in there when you're thinking. But it's darkness. And that's the essence of black. So we in Toma, when we want to deal with God, we first try to show you all the true essence of the Bible and the Holy Quran. One of the deals with the Bible itself is that we know and we say and we believe that both books at certain points in time shows you the intervention in human affairs from other beings that you in your world out there would love to just leave it at angels. You want to call them angels. But we know that these are other beings, and we are not so arrogant to believe that we are the only beings that this great mind created. And why create all these planets and don't put nothing else on it? Do that make sense? That God, I couldn't serve him. He'd be kind of dumb to me. To create all them planets and only put something on one. And the rest of them just sitting around, moving around, but ain't doing nothing. That's stupid. Then they just figured out with a new telescope that it's more galaxies. It's more universes. It's more than 9 planets. Look, they even found out, brothers and sisters, that it is about 7 or 8 Earths. Did you hear me? Earths like this, with people living on it that look like you and me. They found that out. But they had to look outside of this galaxy to find it. And it has water, has everything on it that's on this earth. They just found that out. And Cat Williams made a joke about it. You know, I ain't gonna tell the joke, but he made a joke about it. And that being the case, if he's in all at the same time, then energy, we know that you cannot even create it. But we also know you can't destroy it. We do know that all we can do is direct it. We do know that it can change form and shape. We can direct it. We know that energy is not confined to something called electricity. We know that energy is not only on Earth, in Earth, but out in space too. So now, you heard me say that it is the nature of thought. Let's stop there, thought. Thought travels at 24 billion miles per second. That is pretty far-reaching, ain't it? In 1 second. That's Pluto and back. That means as we speak, that means that from this body right here, we can travel without moving. We can go to LA, we can go to New York, we can go to the moon, we can go to any planet we want to. We can look in a book and look at ancient Kemet, look at whales in the water, and in our own mind, we could go there and be in that water. One of the greatest things that God gave us was imagination. And that is the first thing they deal with our children on when they're growing up, is to direct their imagination. Because it was through children's imagination that created all things. Why do you think Jesus said to the people that if you don't come to me as one of these little children, you can in no way be in the kingdom? What was he saying? Was he saying y'all supposed to be walking around laughing and partying and playing and tumbling and rolling and throwing stuff at each other and stuff? I bet not see y'all doing that. I would talk about you like it ain't nothing. No, that ain't what he mean. God is not crazy. He was saying that your mind has to be open to receive, that your reality cannot be limited. See, as we grow older, we limit our reality, but children don't. See, their mind is grasping everything I'm up here saying and more at the same time. See, and so when he say become as a child, when you heard me mention 5 Earths, 7 Earths, you heard me mention other planets, other galaxies. You heard me mention other solar systems. Understand this out here in Facebook land. The God that is being interpreted to you is a small God. The God that I just interpreted to you is an all-inclusive God. Made everything, even created his own devil for himself. So it can challenge him so that he can stay ahead of the game himself. He needed a little boost. He needed a little push. He needed a little something. And look, even just because I told you this language is a bastard language, you heard me say he. Because the God I'm talking about ain't no he. Ain't no she. Ain't no transgender. Ain't none of that stuff. He's all pure and all deep energy. It's all pure, all deep energy. And it thinks. That's the whole key there. It thinks in the essence of the eternal, divine, spirit, the essence. It thinks, the form of thought, and thought moves constantly. See, you're connected. When you look into your brain, brothers and sisters, and you in a biology class or wherever, they present in different parts and parts in your brain. A part that controls the left side, the right side, a part that controls your eyes and all of that, and your hearing and everything. And they can show you all of that. But guess what they can't point to? Your mind. See, why? Because your mind is out here. It ain't in here. It's out here. See, your mind is connected like a spiritual rope or umbilical cord, all right? And it's attached to your body so it can be your mind. You get it? Because if it wasn't attached nowhere, it would be anybody's mind. But that one came with you. When you die, that little rope severs or cuts and detaches itself from this body. It never dies. It never dies. There's no such term as death when it comes to the mind. You could be out of your mind, but it won't die. You could lose your earthly mind, but it won't die. This body will. The whole essence of God in itself is the making of man. Man made God. I know y'all don't want to hear this. Yeah. Because what I just interpreted to you is not God. What I just interpreted to you was a great mind, the 3 times great mind. A great mind that loaned us a part of its mind and takes that part back when this body expires. And when it's over with, that part leaves. So you are a part of the great mind. And this great mind loaned its mind to everything that thinks. I mean, everything that thinks. If it got a thought pattern, it's a part of its mind. That means animal. That means birds, insects. Trees think. Did y'all know that? Plants can hear. I don't know if y'all know that. They can feel pain. They had hooked up some plants to those little things that they be having that move around. And they screamed to something in the room and startled the plant, and that little needle jumped like that plant was afraid. So now, all of this, why would a creator be one simple thing that we call God? See, if you all understood this great mind that I am talking to you about, there wouldn't be no Yahweh. There wouldn't be no, what's these other names? All them different names for God. Jesus and Jehovah and all of that. Allah. Wouldn't be no Allah. But see, we don't understand, based on what I just described to you as this great mind, that when you bring it into an Allah, you capsulize it. You put it in a bottle, basically. And so now you got this small, minute thing that makes you feel comfortable to say that it created the damn world. You don't like this teaching. I know y'all don't want to hear this. But I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I hope to be able to tell you why I know what I'm talking about next month in November when we talk about the temple and who we are and why we are and who I am when it comes to this movement. I am comfortable with knowing that God is in me and in you and in everything that exists. I am comfortable with knowing that there truly is no name for this entity. I am comfortable in knowing that the words like energy and thought, and then somewhere it says, in the beginning was the word. You can't even see that. Anybody see their words? But see, we'll turn it to something that we can see, won't we? And that diluted it right there. Because we turned it into something we can see. Words, right? Somebody created something and wrote it down, called it phonics, and made it be something that when we say it. But see, in the beginning was word. Word was God. Now watch this. This is where we come in at. And the word became flesh and dwelled among men. Okay, there we go. That's where we stopped. This word becomes flesh. This word is an idea. This word is a thought. See, because first it's a thought. Then it becomes an idea. And for that idea to manifest, you have to shape it into some words to tell me what your idea is. And then I take that word and shape what it is you was talking about. It becomes this book, becomes that chair you sitting in. It becomes these eyeglasses. But in the beginning, this was a thought and an idea that materialized into words. When you put it on paper and you had to put it on the wall and explain it, it had to be said in words. Then it became this. Before you got here, it was the same way, wasn't it? It was a thought, right? And it became words. Hey, baby. Y'all got together. Then it became a person, became you, became me. I'm showing you a process, but I'm showing you that in reality, if you understand who this God is that I'm trying to interpret to you, when I finish, you won't be able to say God, because anything in the Bible then would truly be a God, but it won't be the God that I'm interpreting to you. Two angels stood beside Jesus when he was praying in the garden when he went to pray for the third time. These weren't angels. Somebody wrote this down and called them angel. Leonardo da Vinci drew a picture of how they supposed to look, painted a picture of how they supposed to look. We bought into the thought and the idea. And so when these two angels appeared next to Jesus, we already had Leonardo da Vinci's image. But we know that these two angels were some other beings, all right, from another higher essence of intelligence that worked to help Yahshua get his job done. They came to assist him, right? So now with us, there are beings that walk among us to assist us. We want to keep in our head that there's an angel on this shoulder and one on this shoulder, and one is good and one is bad, and that they be talking in our ear telling us, this will be telling us to do bad things, this will be over there telling us to do good things. Now we could settle for that and live forever, couldn't we? That sounds like fun, don't it? That sounds like fun. And I've heard grown people say something that's stupid. Sorry, grown people, it was stupid. When you was a child, you thought as a child, but when you become an adult or grown, you put away childish things. All that was talking about was left brain and right brain activity. Y'all get it? So I'm not finished, because when I said, who is God? When I come back up here and speak, I want to tell you what is God. See, every one of them names I call God, yes, they all refer to the same one, but at the same time, each one of them really are different beings who was assigned to this planet and became the God of this particular planet. But they were not the great mind that sent them. They weren't that great mind that sent them here. So each of them did have the duty of a God. They were highly intelligent beings, a little bit more intelligent than we are as earthlings. And then they made rules. That wasn't the great mind that gave Moses 10 commandments. That was a doggone God sent from the great mind, became flesh and dwelled among men. Ain't that what it says? And so it met Moses every few days on a mountain and say, here, I have the authority to write these laws down by the great mind in order to civilize those people you got under you. Here's my laws. Here, take them, go back down there, put them laws down so that these people can be a little bit more civilized. Moses went back down there. You know the story. It was another God that told Moses, my father about to destroy this planet. Because it was a family of gods that was sent to this earth. It was a family. And they were to replenish the earth. They could work better on doing the job that God wanted us to do, which was replenish the earth, than the other group that came before them. The group that came to earth before them was a committee or a council, like 24 elders. They couldn't get along. Every time one came with a plan on how they're going to do things, it got voted down, and that one got jealous and ran and did what he wanted to do. So then that's when you get your Yaqub and Shabazz and all these different people, and they couldn't get it together, and one of them got mad and blew the damn earth up. Not the whole planet, just the surface. And that's why the Bible in itself starts after that explosion. It can't be chaos and confusion in something that didn't start from somewhere else. So it was a new beginning. And then why would someone say replenish? You don't replenish something that wasn't never there. You replenish something that was there before. Didn't he say replenish the earth? So if he said replenish it, that means something must have happened in another earth before this one. And so when the great mind saw that its creation that it created and that structure that he created, like a committee or something, it didn't work. They fought and doggone destroyed the planet. He said, so let me take a family and put them down there. So he sent the family. See, that's why these committees don't work. Somebody asked me one day, and I'm going to close on this so y'all can understand what I'm talking about all these different gods in a family. What is a camel? Somebody asked me. Somebody say, what's a camel? And I say, man, is you joking? He said, man, tell me, what is a camel? I say, man, it's this thing with a big hump on his back, a long nose, and some funny feet. He said, yeah. He said, but it was supposed to be a horse, but it was made that way by a committee. You can see that, can't you? They messed that horse up, didn't they? Because committees can't come to some conclusion. And look what they did to that poor, terrible thing. Big, long nose, big hump all in his back, feet all messed up.
Joining us for our weekly Sunday worship service. We invite you and your family to join us live every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street at our new time from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. and on Facebook from 12:30 to 1 p.m. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, please feel free to support us with a monetary gift on Cash App at $, $TOMANATION. Once again, that's $TOMANATION. This will conclude our live stream. The message you have been listening to will continue live here at the Toma headquarters. We thank you, Black family. See you next Sunday. Black Power.
This is the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power!